No flaggins. Morning, y'all. What a wonderful morning it is. Busy day today. I got so much editing to do at the minute. Like I said yesterday, there's golf clubs flying around everywhere. Go away for 2 weeks and then everyone just goes and releases 1 million golf irons, which I'm sure we all need. So yesterday's question, how do you choose your irons? Lots of people just talking about feel and sound, looks, which was quite encouraging. No one just choosing on sharp anymore. Must be doing something right. Comments still flowing about Sky and BBC as well. Really good debate. It has to be one of the best debates I've seen, which I've said already, but I'm just impressed with us all still. So today's question is going to be an interesting one. Oh, shirt game. Who's going to have the best career? Brooks Koepka, Justin Thomas? I think that's a very interesting question. American golf at the moment's in a great space with young players doing fantastic. Ricky, can't call young, but he is still young, but he's been around a while. Jordan, obviously. Justin Thomas just winning the PGA. Brooks Koepka having his great year and obviously a great talent. Dustin Johnson is exactly old. So American golf's getting back to where it was in the past, possibly. So who's going to have the best career? Post comments down there, hit that thumbs up button way down there, and subscribe as well. Just hit the subscribe button. If you make sure the bell icon's illuminated as well, then you'll get notifications every time I upload. So today's swing, we're going to look at a little bit of posture to start us off. Very rounded top of the back for this player. It's actually the same hole of the video we did yesterday, so these guys must have been playing together. And it looks like the line is up the left on this hole, even though the other one yesterday was aiming way off the right. Now, we're going to do a little bit of posture, and then we're going to talk a lot about wrist set, wrist hinge, something I get asked about a lot. You can see his hands get very low at the top of his backswing. He looked very keen to set, maybe not use his body that well, and then come on the way through again. Not bad extension, but you can see much more energetic, higher extension. So we're going to talk about width in the swing around some posture. The width in the swing wrist hinge is one of the most common questions I get asked, so we're going to try and deal a bit with it today. So let's talk posture first and how it might relate to your wrist hinge. So if I was to start very rounded and restricted in my back, I wouldn't feel like I could move my body much. So if I wanted to propel the ball a long way, I'd start trying to get the power from other places. Body's not going to turn very much, so I'm going to really start using my wrist as aggressively as possible to try and send that ball. So what I want to see from you, unless your shape of your back is naturally just very rounded in the top, which it might be, and then there's not much we can do. But if it's not, just try and pull your shoulders back a little bit more. Push your chest forward as you lean forward. This might give us a chance of actually getting your body loosening up and moving a bit more. Then at the same time, we might not have to rely on your wrists so much, which often for players helps with some club face control, helps with distance, helps with launch. Not always. There's lots of great players who can control this kind of movement, but there's many amateurs who can't.
Let's answer your questions.
Morning, Mark.
Morning.
There have been some great putters over the years, as you know. Ben Crenshaw, Matt Lockie, Tiger Woods. But 23 years old, is Jordan Spieth already the greatest putter of all time? Cheers, keep up the good work.
Thanks, Bart. Good question. He's a very good putter, isn't he? So it's very hard, I often think. These questions are hard to answer, certainly the putting one, because our understanding of what's good putting and not is changed and developed with kind of Mark Brody's take on stats, which are fantastic. So it's not just about having not many putts anymore. Not that does much harm, but obviously there's relevance to the hole as well, which affects that number. So it'll be interesting to see as the years go on, as we use these stats more and hopefully more people look at them closely, we'll see if our opinions on what good or bad putters are, how it changes. Because if you look at someone like Ben Crenshaw, was known as a great putter, and I'm not saying he wasn't, but he wasn't the best maybe ball striker in the world, so he would kind of get it round a little bit erratic, so obviously missing a few more greens is going to make him have a lot less putts, those kind of ideas, hence he won one major. Possibly. But I think Jordan will be up there with most of them, and certainly with his major record, the way it's going at the minute and the way we kind of all feel it'll go in the future, I think he'll be known as one of the best putters as well as best players. So yeah, it's a good call. I think he is probably up there with the best of them. I'm certainly, his peers probably put him up there as one of the best, and that'll mean more to him than anything else, because they're the players he's playing against, ones he respects. I think they will put him up there as their kind of go-to guy for putting. So great indoor drill that I use with people on the lesson tee, on the course, and certainly indoors. I get them to try and do it indoors at home in between sessions. Let's try and get the body turning more and the wrists doing less. Now this for a lot of people is like doing this. It twists their melon, man. Because the order they want to use is the opposite. They want the wrist to do lots and the body to do not much. And I want to challenge that feeling. So I've got a ball here, so if I'm setting up to an imaginary ball here, I've got one a good club length behind this ball, more like my driver length back, in line with the ball I'm hitting. I'm going to hold, I've just got my putter, I'm indoors, I'm not hitting shots, just down below the grip, so on the shaft. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to turn my shoulder to where my imaginary ball is, so my shoulder's kind of pointing down at that imaginary ball, while at the same time trying to get the butt end of my club point at this ball behind me. If we think about your movement, your butt end of the club shooting off behind, shoulder way short of where this ball would be. So it's going to flip your order, change the order you try and make the backswing in relationship to how much you use your upper body to how much you use your wrist set, wrist hinge. Other thing I want you to be careful of not doing, which is a common mistake, is try not to move off the ball so much. So don't try and get this shoulder over to this ball by simply adding loads of lateral movement with a little bit of turn, because that move will line the shoulder up, but you're not actually turning your body anymore, and you'll really seriously affect low point if you start shifting off the ball so much. So turning over the ball, left shoulder down to where your imaginary ball is, and get the butt end of that club pointing off at this ball. It'll give you an exaggerated feeling of turning your body more, wrist less. 2 of those swings on a practice bay, then hit shots, and then in between practice sessions, lots of this indoor stuff will transform the way you kind of order your backswing. I'm thinking of going back to this one. Come on, comment section, let me know what you think. Versa 9. Old grip, the old favourite classic shape. Can't get any worse. Go on down there, let's hear ya. 2 ball Versa 9. Push that one. And then my last point about wrist hinge is you need to think about it more as a functional, personalised movement. So what I mean by that is, let's say I want to get top of my backswing and I want the leading edge of this iron to be, or this putter or club if it was a driver or hybrid or whatever, in line with my left arm. So this being lofted, this being what people would call closed, less lofted I would call it more. That position will change subject to how you start with your grip. So if I'm someone who plays good golf by showing 4 knuckles, top of my backswing, I'm going to have a slight hinge in this wrist to get that angle in relationship to my lead arm. If I'm more Jordan Spieth and 1 knuckle, you're going to see me almost bowing my wrist to get the same angle with the face. So when it comes to wrist hinges, so if I hinge it up or I move my wrist this way or this way in the backswing, you have to be careful that it's matched to your movement, your setup. Now for this player, I would like to challenge how much set they put in early in relationship to how much they use their shoulders to see if it makes them better. I'm not particularly saying it will, but we won't know unless they try, and that's the beauty of golf instruction, what I love about it. And for anyone who wants to learn, it's about how willing you are to challenge yourself half of the time, rather than, I know for a fact I could do the perfect backswing, the perfect grip, tell you what they are, and they would get good views and people would just lap it up. But unfortunately, it's not how golfers learn, because you can't all have the same grip. You're not all going to feel comfortable there, so you can't have all the same wrist set, you can't have all the same shoulder turn. What you can do though, is like with the drills I've done today, is try and challenge yourself to try some different movements and see if it works or not for you and your golf. Where's your sister?
In the car.
What? Ankle not right. Don't fall in ditches. I think it's swollen. A&E for you, I'm afraid, little one. It's alright though, they keep your regular appointment, I think. Right, she's off to hospital. Not much they can do with ankles normally, so but she'll come back with some strapping and stuff. See you tomorrow. We'll let you know how broken ankle girl gets on. I don't know what me and little one are gonna do. Dancing.